blame men for the failure of the Marvels. Where have you heard that before? Not so long ago in a movie called Charlie Angels, the rebooted Charlie Angels didn't do very well and it was all men's fault. So here's the same thing again. And the reason why I'm saying that to you guys, it's because there is a critic here that she is a critic for Rotten Tomatoes, a writer for Screen Rant, and Disney Plus News as well. So go figure. Of course, she would have to put a blame on someone, specifically men, for not supporting the Marvels. Now, what she said here, it's really interesting to me that all men who are very actively hating on the Marvels. The movie isn't perfect, and then she asks people to read her review, but it doesn't deserve the hate that men are giving it. Well, guess what? My review wasn't so favorable either, and I'm not a man. Obviously, I'm not hating on the movie. All my reviews here, they're pretty honest. It's just how I feel about the films. And I didn't think The Marvels wasn't a good movie. Now, to be quite fair, obviously, you are going to find people hating out there and exaggerating everything. But most of the reviews I have seen here on YouTube are pretty fair, in which people are just giving that opinion why this movie isn't great. I mean, if you watch a lot of movies, especially if you compare this to other movies, you can, Marvel movies, let's just get Marvel movies here, and you compare this film with other films, I mean, there's a massive difference here. These characters from the Marvel, like I said, everything just felt so flat. I couldn't connect with the characters. That all the jokes seemed to be forced, you know. Kamala was probably the only one that felt genuine. She was the only one I actually liked in the film. But like the whole stuff, you know, like I'm not gonna get into spoilers if you haven't seen the film, but anyways, I didn't give it a very good review because I thought the movie was bad, and I don't think that people are just actively hating on the film. People are just giving their opinions. To be quite honest, there was a lot of articles already thinking that this movie was gonna flop. Why were articles coming out talking about the movie's gonna flop, things are not looking very great? I mean, they already knew something, and now they just want to find a scapegoat and a reason to why it isn't doing very well. Blaming men is definitely not a good idea. Why? Because most men, I mean, you're kind of blaming your clients, you know? That's just not very smart. And if this movie wasn't totally marketed for men, for sure, obviously it wasn't. A lot of men don't feel like this was made for them, but if it was made specifically for women, well, they didn't show up either, because this is definitely not becoming a Barbie event, because the Barbie was a movie targeted for women and they did show up. The movie made a ton of money, but they didn't show up for the Marvels. And why is that? It's because I believe that Marvels for a while now has been declining. They have been more concerned about certain narratives and certain agendas more than entertainment itself. So the fact that people are no longer feeling entertained when they are watching a movie, that should tell you something. Now, the problem with studios and the critics is that if you don't like it, the problem is you. It's not us. And that is just so weird to me, because if something is failing and you are a studio, you should take notes and see what could we do better? Why is this character not connecting to people? What are we doing wrong? How did we get things so right in the beginning of Marvel Universe? It was just like, oh my goodness, every single movie was just making so much money. But now we can't get the same people back. What is wrong here? There's a clear difference. If you look at the original characters there, Captain America and Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, I mean, Hulk, all these characters had in common is flaws and actually really good qualities. They were never written as perfect characters. However, Captain Marvel was already introduced into the universe as this really super powerful character. She never, the fact that, and this is not Brie Larson's fault, obviously, because she's just an actress and she's just doing whatever the script is giving to her, the way directors are directing her. But Captain Marvel came off as very unlikable. A lot of people were just like, oh my goodness, imagine this character coming here. People were concerned that she was going to be the one to defeat Thanos, because she was just came off as very unlikable, as very cocky, as very arrogant. And who likes a person like that? Especially someone that is coming to a franchise that was already pretty pre-established. And obviously with the Marvels, there's a lot of other stuff that people are not taking into consideration. The fact that this movie is also linked to the Miss Marvel show as well as the WandaVision show, because for you to know Monica Rambeau's backstory, you would have to watch WandaVision. Same thing with Miss Marvel. I mean, obviously it's not necessary for you to have seen the shows to understand the movie, but it would give you a better context. And I don't think they explain everything very well in the movie for someone that haven't seen these shows. They did try to make Captain Marvel here a little more relatable, but I'm sorry, it's a little bit too late. And the fact that like they actively were not targeting this movie to men, and now critics are just saying they want to blame men for not showing up. I mean, come on, that doesn't sound that does not sound right, correct? Like I said, if you keep ignoring your clients, they will eventually just disappear. At first, I think the first stage is always anger. People do rant videos and they just, scream, get it out of your chest. And after a while, it's just apathy. You just feel nothing and you just, you know what? I don't care anymore. That's the stage that Star Wars is nowadays. And that's why even South Park had to make fun of Kathleen Kennedy with that episode, South Park Into the Panderverse, because that's what studios have become nowadays. They stick with a trend, and if they see that a thing isn't working, they keep writing articles, they keep blaming fans as if the real reason for these things to be failing is you, because you're not supporting that movie. But like, are you forced to watch whatever they put out there? That makes zero sense. I'm sorry, The Marvels isn't a great movie. There are some haha moments here and there, but it isn't enough to carry a whole movie, okay? There's a lot of stuff that are just so silly, it's disjoint, like it's a mess. The movie's a mess. It didn't really know what he wanted to be. And according to the Variety article here, box office, The Marvel slowly takes flight with 6.6 million in preview. Now, they're being very, very generous here, because the Captain Marvel movie made 20 million according to their own article here in the previews. 20 million, the first Captain Marvel. Obviously we had it was setting up to Endgame, so definitely people were going to show up, but now it was only 6.6 million. So 620, it's a huge difference. And there's a lot of, like, I don't know, the word of mouth is also not doing very well. A lot of people are giving it bad reviews. Like I said, if you like it, great, enjoy. At least you have something that you can watch it again. It wasn't a movie for me, but like to start using the media and articles to blame men, your clients. I mean, keep doing that kind of stuff, and you will see what's gonna happen. Like if the Marvel universe is already declining, imagine if you start doing stuff like that. It's just not gonna go very well. But anyways, that's just what I wanted to get off my chest, because I just find it really stupid that studios are not really studying what is going wrong. Instead, they're just trying to find who can we blame. I mean, come on, are you gonna really blame your fans? They're just not going to show up anymore, and that's just the reality. Drop your comments down below and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more, and see you next time. Bye.